For some of you, this might be the best Hall effect keyboard to buy. The Keychron Q5 HE and its bigger and smaller Keychron brothers, in my opinion, are some of the best choices for premium Hall effect keyboards to buy today. Not because it's the best in gaming performance, it absolutely isn't, and I'll explain why later, but because of versatility. Look, most of the premium options for Hall effect keyboards nowadays are for gamers by gamers. They don't really sound that great, with the exception of the Pulsar PCMK. They don't really feel that great, and they have great performance and great focus on gaming features, but they don't look very premium, and the typing experience and productivity experience on them isn't really good. This Keychron combines Keychron's experience making solid feeling productivity and typing mechanical keyboards with Hall effect features and performance to basically give you hopefully the best of both worlds. And it's got everything you expect from a Keychron Q series keyboard. This is the Q5, so it's actually a compressed full-size keyboard layout. You get a full-size number pad, a really solid feeling volume knob, included Squid Game reference, arrow keys, page up, page down, home and delete. The keycaps are an OSA profile, which are pretty nice for typing, but I'm not the biggest fan of them for gaming because it's very easy to fat finger them. And you get Keychron's really solid build quality with a heavy metal case, zero flex anywhere, and a very sturdy build that once placed on your table does not move at all. Plus, it's a productivity workhorse with the ability to connect to your PC wirelessly via a Wi-Fi dongle or wirelessly via Bluetooth with the ability to pair to up to 3 devices at the same time. As for how it sounds and how it feels as a productivity keyboard, it is excellent. The switches are Gateron double rail Nebulas by default, though you can swap them out for other Gateron double rail magnetic switches, and they feel awesome. As far as Hall effect switches go, I think these are some of the best I've tried, with basically near zero stem wobble, making it far better than most of the other switches I've reviewed on my channel so far. It sounds great, it feels excellent, it's pre-lubed and is really smooth, feel really good for typing, with a 40 gram start actuation weight and a 60 gram peak actuation force. The stock stabs as well are brilliant and they sound great straight out of the box, making this keyboard one of the best sounding, best typing, best feeling Hall effect keyboards for work that I've used so far, which makes sense because every other Hall effect keyboard's focused on gaming. This one's trying to do both. Yes, this keyboard having an advantage in that field might not be important to everyone, especially sweaty try-hard gamers who only care about gaming performance, gaming features, and winning, but to someone like me that wants to do more than just game on my PC, it's great. You can use these double rail magnetic switches on the Wooting keyboards, on other standard Hall effect keyboards, and they work perfectly fine, with the only problem being that the minimum actuation point is 0.2 millimeters rather than 0.1. However, you can't use other keyboards Hall effect switches, the standard stuff, on this Keychron Q5 HE, because if you do, it just wouldn't work. And trust me, I've tested it. Because this keyboard has to use proprietary switches, it's pretty unfortunate that you only have 3 different choices, all from Gateron, at least as for now. I'm sure if this double rail system becomes very popular, it might become the industry standard and more switches might come out for it, but only time can tell. With that out of the way, let's talk about the gaming performance. This thing can do wireless connection up to 1000 Hz, and in wireless mode, I find that its performance is perfectly fine with no humanly noticeable input lag. On my 480 Hz OLED display with a 7800X 3D processor running at 600 FPS in Valorant, I can confidently say I don't feel like there's any input lag with this, even in wireless mode. So gaming performance is pretty okay. The sensitivity of rapid trigger and SOCD, both of which are kind of mainstay features these days in gaming keyboards, are also really nice and feel quite solid compared to something like my Wooting. There might be slight variations, but as a human, you're probably not going to be able to tell the difference, so that's not an issue. The only noticeable disadvantage this keyboard has to its competitors in the Hall effect gaming world for gaming is that the minimum actuation point on this keyboard is only 0.2 millimeters, which is higher than the 0.1 millimeters of basically every other Hall effect keyboard. I think this has to do with the switch, because when you move this switch to a Wooting, it only recognizes at 0.2 rather than 0.1. I don't know why that is the case, but whatever it is, it's a slight disadvantage, making the keyboard feel a tad slower than Wooting or the Steel series that I have at home. So, should you buy the Keychron Q5 HE? If you're just a pure sweaty tryhard gamer and all you care about is max performance per dollar, there are other options that are cheaper. If you're just a sweaty tryhard gamer and all you care about is getting the best possible gaming performance, best possible gaming features and specs, because all you care about is gaming, then this is not the keyboard for you. But for people who are more in between, you need to use your keyboard for typing, you need to use your keyboard for work from home, for school, or whatever, or you care about a keyboard that looks cleaner, more refined, or you care about keyboard sounding and feeling good on top of just having Hall effect performance, then this is a very solid option. Subscribe.